I'm Jeremy Hart and I'm the curator at Bourne Hall Museum in Epsom, Newell. We've been researching the history of the borough for now over 40 years, and every year we find something new to collect in the area. Either contemporary things or old signs of the past of the borough that are coming up when houses are being fitted out or taken apart. We've done a lot of archaeology, not just underground, but also the archaeology of living buildings. And this wallpaper is one of the features that we've been able to salvage from historic structures that were being changed or renovated, and where features of their past life could be brought in here for the public to have a look at. Of all the buildings in Epsom Spa, the Assembly Rooms and the new tavern was the largest and most impressive. It stood out like a mansion in a village street. And that's hardly surprising, because it was built by a London enterprise. Two goldsmiths had come down, stayed on the common, drank the waters of the old Epsom wells, the original of our Epsom salts, and decided that Epsom needed something a little bit better than just a few rustic cottages. They built one of the first leisure centres in the country. It was called the New Tavern because it sold wine, in those days a restricted drink. You could buy it in by the barrel, but if you wanted to be a gentleman and have it served properly to your lodgings in Epsom, you had your customised bottle. Mr. W.W. had his own bottles that were stamped for his own use and distributed from the New Tavern only. That wasn't the only thing they were drinking, because after the early 18th century it became possible to have Epsom waters laid on in the town. Now, in those days it was much stronger than it is now. The veins of magnesium sulphate were running strong, so that if you took one of these pots, taking 2 pints of water laced with the stuff, well, you certainly knew that you'd had something. Facilities were provided at the back separately for gentlemen and ladies. But that wasn't all the entertainment that was on offer, because you could raffle, gamble, watch plays, dances, buy new luxuries like silks and china, or you could go bowling. And this little pot here, stamped with the excise mark of William III, was what people would have carried their beer out with them when they were having a game of bowls in the background. Or if they were sitting in the cockpit, they'd have taken it with them to give them a bit of courage as they watched their favourites striving in the cockmain. You can see that it's been caught in a fire, and this is where it's been damaged in the later years, because Epsom Spa didn't last for very long. 30 years after Copenhagenhurst, the goldsmiths, had designed their perfect building, it was derelict. Pits out the back were being filled up with all the rubbish, and when we were excavating prior to the development of Epsom shopping centre at the Ashley Centre, we discovered this one full of all the residue of the last days of the New Tavern. In it there were bottles, there were the old pipes that people had been smoking by the fire in the coffee house. There were 10 heads of greyhounds. I think somebody had had a little racing account there and had suddenly decided the dogs weren't worth their while any longer. And there were tragically the last remnants of Epsom Spa, thrown away from a building which was soon to be divided up and made into a smith's shop on one side and a cooper's hut on the other. The great days were over and Epsom settled down. It was to be for another 100 years. A quiet country town with only a few grand buildings to bear witness to its glorious past.